So, we got a little bit of news to cover. Three items, really, about board games. There's the Diamond Comic bankruptcy stuff still going on. GAMA and CMON. So let's start with CMON. They sold their global headquarters in Singapore. They've just been having losses, having problems with tariffs, bad fiscal planning, and using the Kickstarter model too much. It's caught up with them, and it caught up with them when things in the market shifted, and they now have even less ability to maneuver around it. Don't know how long CMON will last. They've now asked for extra money from some of their crowdfunding campaigns to cover the cost of tariffs, but that doesn't really help them with all the other stuff that they're losing on. And will they last the rest of the year? Who knows? Maybe they'll declare bankruptcy like Diamond Comics, and that's still ongoing, going on longer than someone would want it to, especially because, I kind of forgot about this. I don't know how many people talked about this, but they're still running Diamond Comics, right? So it was hemorrhaging losses. They declare bankruptcy. They have to pay lawyer fees. They're still hemorrhaging losses. And then you add in the fact that who the heck is going to send any of their products to Diamond Comics, especially now since they tried to seize stuff that was on consignment that they hadn't actually paid for, to use that stuff, dump it, and get as much money to pay off their creditors and not give money to the people that had sent them stuff on consignment. And now those people are part of the lawsuit trying to get something like an injunction to stop Diamond from doing this, and it's debatable but whether they can stop it, but it's costing them more because they also have to pay lawyers. But the point is that Diamond Comics is paying lawyers, losing money at an accelerated rate, and not able to gain as much money, and then having to deal with this bankruptcy. And it's pretty crazy. And I would think I wonder if at some point there'll be no more money left for lawyers, and then the lawsuit will just end somehow, and then it'll just be chopped up. I'm not really sure how these things work. Maybe everyone takes a piece and runs away. Who knows? It's a lot of drama, and I only know a very minimal amount about how bankruptcy works, and about how bankruptcy works in the United States, and about how bankruptcy works at the corporate level. And this is kind of crazy, and it's just going to get worse. And so there's people still working at Diamond, and I assume they're getting angry calls every day, and it must be terrible. I mean, one would assume that anyone who values their time might move on to something else if they can. So they'd probably be hemorrhaging employees too. Plus, they'd probably be laying off a ton of employees. They're probably running a bare bones staff as it is. I don't know. It's a crazy situation, and but I guess a less crazy situation is GAMA. GAMA changed their name from the Game Manufacturers Association. I've never liked acronyms where you just take parts of the words and not all of the words and then crunch them together. To now GAMA, Tabletop Game Association, which is some other acronym really, but they're still calling themselves GAMA. In any case, it can still be GAMA. Who really cares? It barely made sense as the Game Manufacturers Association. So if it's a Tabletop Game Association, they want to rebrand it to be more less about indie publishers and more about all publishers and all games and that kind of stuff. And it looks like they changed CEOs and they want to expand what they cover and expand their size, that kind of stuff, compete with Gen Con or maybe Essen. Maybe GAMA will be a cool little convention. I've never been to GAMA. I've never even... If you know of any people that have gone to GAMA and have YouTube videos explaining GAMA, let me know in the comments below, because I'd like to see what that's all about. Other than that, so we got companies going bankrupt. One of them on the way to bankruptcy. One of them, well through bankruptcy, but unable to probably get through it without complete and utter annihilation of themselves and their distributors. And then GAMA, who have possibly noticed the exigencies of the day and adapted to it, or they are, you know, taking a wild swing at something that they're not capable of. I don't know. I want to see GAMA do well. I remember lots of talk of GAMA when I was a teenager. I just never went to GAMA, and I don't even know where it is. But yeah, if you've been to GAMA, actually, let me know what it was like in the comments below. Also, like I said, any YouTubers that you know of that have done videos from GAMA, let me know what channels those are. I'd like to see that. But other than that, that's the news for today, and it's mostly bad news, possibly good news for GAMA. We'll see. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Have a good day.